We love The Apprentice because they all appear to be incredibly stupid at the start. And it makes us all feel better, doesn't it? They're all supposed to be clever and graduates and have their own businesses. And
yes,
does it
and they
continually surprise you?
Well, they all consider themselves to be the best at anything and everything, and we soon, it soon unravels, and we find that they're not quite as good as they think. Tonight, Lord Sugar sends them off to find 9 items, and he sends them straight to Malta with a map, some euros, and a specification list of the things they have to get.
Are they kind of weird and wonderful things?
Well, there is one thing that's quite interesting. One thing says an octopus, and the specification says with a 40-inch hose. And then if you imagine they're in a fishmonger's measuring tentacles of real octopus, or dead octopuses, when really an octopus with a 40-inch hose is a piece of diving equipment.
When you meet people just in general life, or even on The Apprentice, are there certain people that you think, yeah, I think you've probably got what it takes?
Well, I think a lot of people that tend to get the kind of careers that they want are those that are really dedicated, really hard-working, naturally curious, enthusiastic, good communicators.
So it's not necessarily just like gift of the
No,
gab.
but at the end of the day, people do business with people. They don't do business with brains. So actually being able to communicate and talk and present yourself, and whether
that's Boris. That's what we were talking about earlier. You could be describing Boris Johnson.
Love him or loathe him, he's got charisma and he's a great speaker, and he has a real presence.
But would you trust him to run a business?
Well, I don't know what business experience he's got, so I don't really know. But I mean, it's a very interesting time for the country, talking about Brexit and what's going to happen. For me, I'd much rather the politicians were talking about what's going to happen after Brexit. Because we know it's going to happen, but where are the jobs coming from? Where's the innovation coming from? Where are the trade deals coming from? There needs to be this master plan of Britain post-Brexit, so we can all get excited about the future.
And do you think
Do
you think Theresa May is the person to lead us through Brexit? I mean, she seems to be cutting a very lonely figure at the moment.
Yes, I do agree, but I will say this. She is a very dedicated public servant. I mean, most people could not put up with this kind of constant pressure.
Yeah.
And it does appear to me that she is standing strong despite all of that. There seems to be an awful lot of personal politics going on, making her job more difficult. I mean, who can negotiate a deal out in the public with everybody knowing everything? I mean, look, what she's trying to say is, I can't dance and I can take the mickey out of myself. And I think that's a good thing. She is human after all. She is a strong woman. I mean, she is doing a good job. She will get this deal. I mean, I think to me it seems that Boris would come out at any cost, and I don't think that's right for the country. And I think that Theresa May wants to build a package that is good for business, good for the country, because whatever we do has lasting ramifications.
And nobody knows,
and we'll be paying for it forever.
Nobody actually knows what's going to happen. And it is so there is going to have to be, at some point, a leap of faith, isn't there, by everybody?
Yeah. Yes, well, I think the deal's going to come back for a meaningful vote, and then we'll see whether people are just going to vote against it for their own political ambitions, which would be so wrong. That's not what we vote in our members of Parliament for. A good leader votes in the interests of the people, not in the interests of themselves. So I hope they've shown some real
Could you
common
run
sense.
for Prime Minister?
Yeah. I'm too busy with The Apprentice.
What about having it all, though, Karren? We were talking, you heard earlier. You've been in business a very long time. You've brought up a family. You were a woman in a very male-dominated environment. Did you ever have that moment thinking, this is a nightmare, trying to have it all?
I think anyone who thinks they can have it all, particularly any woman, of all the titles I've got, working mother is the only one that really suits me. And I've been there when you have to say board meeting, sports day, board meeting, parents' evening, and as a woman, you're constant guilt you carry around of you think you should be in one place, you know you should be in the other. It's a balancing act that you spend your whole life juggling. But I would say, quite honestly, my children now 22 and 20, so they're completely out the other side. That actually, when your children see you as a working mother, you set other examples. You show them the power of independence, the power of having an opinion, the power of having a career, and they come through the other side. And actually, it's not about the person who drops them off in school every morning or picks them up because you can't. It's about the whole person they become.
Have they ever said to you at some point, oh, Mum, I wish you'd been at my school play or
hundreds of times.
Yeah.
but actually, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
I love my children. I love my work. I've tried to make it work. I haven't always got it right, but I've done my very best. And actually, that's all you can do as a working mum.
In the Radio Times this week, Anne Widdecombe has written that women have never had it so good. We've got a woman running the police force, we've got a female Prime Minister, and then she goes on and says, and all they do is whinge. And I find that really, really unfair, because I personally feel there's a long way for women to go. And you've had to bang down so many doors. You must still feel frustrated there aren't more women on the board.
I 100% agree with you. I agree things have improved. I mean, I don't think Anne Widdecombe has any children, so she wouldn't really understand about the balances that happens. But actually, the biggest barrier to women are the gender pay gap. For every pound a man makes, a woman makes only 86 pence. And affordable, high-quality childcare. Those are the real barriers to women. So, yes, things are improving, but it will take 100 years for the gender pay gap to close, and that is just too long.
100 years? Really?
It will take that long because the attitudes to women... I mean, there was this report that 41% of people in a company think that having a working mother in their team is a burden. And that women do lose their jobs, they don't get promotion, or they've left when they come back from maternity because they're just because they're treated so badly. So attitudes have to change. We have to accept that 50% of this country are talented, are dedicated, are forward-thinking. You know, there's another report that says if you have 10% of your senior managers as women, your company's 50% more profitable, and that tells you all you need to know.
And actually, Janet's often spoken before, saying when you were a boss, that women need to fight more for themselves as well, to go in and have faith in yourself, that you should have that promotion.
Only 9% of women will ask for a pay rise, as opposed to 57% of men.
Yeah, we need to
know what you're worth, ask what you're worth, demand what you're worth. And you've probably got it. No, you've probably got it in some respects. Because if you don't champion yourself, if you don't fight what you want, no one is going to do it for you.